Chev truck, and it was we did the whole thing inside out.
Yeah.
When it come to the hood,
from a small-town garage to millions of fans worldwide, Bad Chad Customs was more than a show. It was a movement. But when the pandemic struck, the show that captured hearts came to an abrupt end. What happened next is a story of resilience, creativity, and a new beginning that's even more inspiring. Join us as we explore how Chad Hiltz and Jolene McIntyre turned a tragic setback into a triumphant comeback. In a quiet corner of Nova Scotia, one man turned scraps of metal into rolling masterpieces, defying every rule of car building with a grin and a wrench. Chad Hiltz, better known as Bad Chad, captured hearts worldwide with Bad Chad Customs on the Discovery Channel. But after just 2 seasons, the show vanished from screens, leaving fans stunned and searching for answers. Now, Chad's taken his craft to YouTube, where millions still hang on his every move. This is the story of a small-town dreamer, his unforgettable creations, and a legacy that refuses to fade. Canning, Nova Scotia, isn't the kind of place you'd expect to find a car-building legend. With a population barely over 2,500, it's a speck on the map, far from the glitz of big city garages. Yet, that's where Chad Hiltz grew up, surrounded by rusting relics and fueled by a passion for classic cars. As a kid, he'd tinker with anything he could get his hands on. Old boat parts, airplane scraps, even kitchen cabinet knobs. No fancy tools, no big budget, just raw ingenuity. Chad taught himself to transform forgotten vehicles into works of art, each one a story of grit and imagination. His shop, Hiltz Auto Kooksters, became a haven for these misfit machines, and soon the world would take notice. What kind of spark does it take to turn a small-town garage into a global sensation? For Chad, it was his unfiltered love for the craft. In 2019, the Discovery Channel saw something special in his hands-on approach and launched Bad Chad Customs. The show wasn't about shiny, high-end restorations. It was about breathing life into wrecks most would call junk, all on a working man's budget. From a dusty shop on Highway 358, Chad and his team crafted vehicles that were equal parts heart and horsepower, drawing viewers into a world where every dent told a story. The magic of Bad Chad Customs lay in its raw authenticity. Unlike polished reality shows, this was real. Grease-stained hands, late-night problem-solving, and a team that felt like family. Fans didn't just watch cars come to life. They fell in love with the people behind them. Chad, with his infectious energy and quirky charm, wasn't a typical TV star. His nickname, Bad Chad, wasn't about rebellion, but a playful nod to his bold, unconventional style. Could one man's vision really redefine custom car culture? The answer was in every episode as viewers tuned in to see what he'd dream up next. One build stole the spotlight early on, a 1939 Studebaker Commander, transformed from a rusted shell into a jaw-dropping custom coupe. Using recycled metal and spare parts, Chad's team chopped, channeled, and bagged the car, creating a low-slung masterpiece that screamed personality. That Studebaker featured in the show's debut episode wasn't just a car, it was a statement. It showed the world what Chad could do with nothing but vision and elbow grease. Years later, a YouTube video of that same Studebaker rolling up to a prom racked up over 5 million views, proof of its lasting allure. Another project turned heads when Chad took on a 1934 DeSoto Airflow for a friend's cider business. The goal? Build a promotional truck that could stand out in a crowd. With his team, Chad reimagined the vintage coupe into a sleek, functional beast, blending old-school charm with modern flair. It wasn't just about utility, it was about creating something unforgettable. How did they pull it off on a shoestring budget? That's the kind of question that kept fans glued to their screens, marveling at Chad's ability to turn trash into treasure. At the heart of the shop was Jolene McIntyre, Chad's fiancée and a force in her own right. More than a manager, Jolene was a collaborator, balancing Chad's wild ideas with practical know-how. Their chemistry, both in the garage and on screen, gave the show its emotional core. Whether they were wrestling with a stubborn chassis or celebrating a finished build, their partnership felt like a love letter to the craft. Viewers saw them as more than mechanics. They were a team chasing a dream, proving that passion could outshine any spotlight. As Bad Chad Customs soared, it reached far beyond Nova Scotia's borders. From the US to Europe, fans tuned in, captivated by the show's blend of creativity and heart. By the end of its first season, it wasn't just a series. It was a movement. Car enthusiasts and casual viewers alike rallied around Chad's underdog story, cheering for every bold build. But could this small-town shop keep up with its own success? Behind the scenes, pressures were mounting, threatening to shift the gears of Chad's journey. Then, after 2 seasons, the unthinkable happened. Bad Chad Customs went quiet, leaving fans reeling. Reports swirled about why the show stopped. Some pointed to creative clashes, others to network decisions. While the truth remains murky, the absence of new episodes since 2020 sparked a wave of disappointment. One fan, quoted in a 2024 WV paper article, called it a bitter pill to swallow, reflecting the heartbreak of a loyal community. Yet, Chad wasn't one to stay down. What did he do next to keep his dream alive? Refusing to let the story end, Chad turned to YouTube, where his creativity found a new home. His channel exploded, gaining over 330,000 subscribers and racking up millions of views. According to a 2025 P&I Atlantic News report, his videos now draw up to 2 million daily views, generating $2 million a year. From sharing behind-the-scenes build tips to showcasing new projects, Chad's online presence keeps his fans hooked. His journey from TV to digital stardom raises a question. Has he found a better way to share his passion? In the quiet hum of a small-town garage, a revolution was brewing, one that would ripple far beyond the borders of Nova Scotia and into the hearts of car lovers worldwide. As Bad Chad Customs gained momentum, it wasn't just a show, it was a movement, a testament to the power of passion and ingenuity. But as the spotlight grew brighter, so did the shadows of challenges that would test the team's resilience in ways they never imagined. The magic of Bad Chad Customs wasn't just in the cars, it was in the community it built. From the moment the first episode aired, fans across the globe were drawn into Chad and Jolene's world. Social media buzzed with discussions, from Reddit threads dissecting every build to Instagram posts celebrating the team's creativity. One fan, a young mechanic from Australia, shared how the show inspired him to start his own custom car project, using scraps from his backyard. It was stories like these that turned Bad Chad Customs into more than a series. It became a shared dream. And when Chad posted a video of the Studebaker Commander rolling up to a prom, it wasn't just a car reveal. It was a moment of pure joy that went viral, amassing over 5 million views and proving that this show was about more than metal and grease. But the connection didn't stop at screens. Merchandise, hats, shirts, and decals became badges of honor for fans, symbols of a community that felt like family. Each sale was a nod to the bond between the team and their supporters, a way to carry the spirit of Canning's little shop wherever they went. And then there were the events like the 2022 Toronto Motorama show, where Chad and Jolene didn't just display their cars, they lived the dream. During one unforgettable moment, they took on a roof chop, slicing through a car's top with precision and flair, leaving the crowd breathless. Could a small-town couple really redefine car culture on such a grand stage? Moments like these answered with a resounding yes. As the second season rolled out in 2020, expectations were sky high. Fans were hungry for more, and Chad and Jolene delivered. The builds were bolder, the stories more personal. Take the bubble-top gasser, for instance, a 1985 Ford LTD station wagon, transformed into a sleek, low-riding masterpiece with a plexiglass bubble top. The tension was electric as Chad and his team wrestled with every detail, from the custom suspension to the flawless paint job. When it was finally unveiled, it wasn't just a car, It was a statement, a testament to what could be achieved with vision and grit. But behind the triumphs, the pressure was mounting. How do you keep topping perfection? Chad, ever the perfectionist, poured his soul into every project, often staying late into the night, his hands stained with grease, his mind racing with ideas. Jolene, his rock, kept the shop running smoothly, but even she could see the toll it was taking. "We were pushing harder than ever," she later reflected in a 2023 interview. "But we loved every minute of it, or so we thought." Then, the world shifted. In early 2020, as plans for a third season were taking shape, the COVID-19 pandemic hit like a tidal wave. Lockdowns, travel restrictions, and safety protocols made filming impossible. For a show built on hands-on collaborative work in a bustling shop, the pause was devastating. "It felt like the ground had been pulled out from under us," Chad admitted in a 2025 P&I Atlantic News interview. Networks, scrambling to cut costs, prioritized bigger productions, leaving smaller gems like Bad Chad Customs in limbo. The financial strain was real, budgets were slashed, and the future of the show hung in the balance. But the emotional weight was heavier. For Chad and Jolene, the show wasn't just a job. It was their dream, their way of sharing their love for cars with the world. The uncertainty of whether they'd ever film again was a blow that cut deep. Yet Chad and Jolene weren't ones to stay down. As the world adapted, so did they. With the TV show on hold, they turned to YouTube, where their raw, unfiltered passion found a new audience. Today, their channel boasts over 330,000 subscribers, with videos drawing millions of views, from behind-the-scenes build diaries to fan Q&As. It's a testament to their resilience, a reminder that even when the lights go out, the fire of creativity never fades. But what did it take to rebuild after such a setback? And what new heights did they reach? When the world shut down, it could have silenced the roar of engines in a small Nova Scotia garage forever. But for Chad Hiltz and Jolene McIntyre, the end of Bad Chad Customs on television wasn't the end of their story. It was a spark that ignited a new kind of revolution. In the face of heartbreak, they turned to the digital frontier, proving that passion, grit, and a few rusty parts could build something unstoppable. The news hit like a wrench to the heart. By early 2020, Bad Chad Customs was no more. Its third season scrapped as the pandemic swept through, halting production across the globe. For Chad and Jolene, it wasn't just a show that ended. It was a dream they'd poured their souls into. A platform that had carried their small-town vision to millions. The shop on Highway 358, once buzzing with cameras and crew, fell quiet. Supply chain snags made parts scarce, and the tight-knit team faced personal struggles, health worries, financial strain, and the weight of an uncertain future. Yet, in that silence, a question lingered. Could they rebuild without the spotlight? They didn't just rebuild. They reinvented. With the TV cameras gone, Chad and Jolene turned to YouTube, a platform where their raw, unfiltered creativity could shine. What started as a way to stay connected became a global phenomenon. By 2025, their channel had swelled to over 330,000 subscribers, with videos racking up millions of views, according to P&I Atlantic News. From tutorials on welding techniques to glimpses of their latest builds, each post was a love letter to their fans. But what made this pivot so remarkable? It was their refusal to let a setback define them, a choice to keep creating no matter the odds. Social media became their new stage, and the audience was bigger than ever. On platforms like Facebook, with over 385,000 followers, and Instagram, fans didn't just watch, they engaged. They sent letters, shared stories, and even mailed gifts to the shop in Canning, as noted in a 2025 Post-Media report. One fan, a teenager from Texas, wrote about how Chad's videos inspired him to restore a 1970s pickup truck with his dad. Moments like these weren't just comments. They were proof that Bad Chad Customs had become a movement, a community that stretched far beyond Nova Scotia's borders. The builds kept coming, each one a testament to Chad's relentless imagination. Take the 1949 Mercury. a rusted Hulk transformed into a sleek, low-slung masterpiece for a local musician. With its chopped roof and custom chrome, it was a car that screamed personality, unveiled in a YouTube video that hit over 2 million views. Or the 1963 Ford Falcon, reimagined as a vibrant showpiece for a charity event, its bold paint job, catching eyes at the 2024 Rockabilly Weekend. These weren't just cars, they were stories, each one carrying the spirit of a team that refused to quit. Could a small-town shop really keep captivating the world without a TV network? The answer was in every gleaming fender. Jolene was the heartbeat of this new chapter. As Chad's fiancée and shop manager, she balanced his wild ideas with practical know-how, ensuring every project stayed on track. Her presence both in the garage and online gave fans a glimpse into the partnership that made Bad Chad Custom special. Their son, Colton, now a skilled builder in his own right, brought fresh energy to the team, learning from his father while carving his own path. Together, they turned Hiltz Auto Co. into a family legacy, one that no cancellation could erase. Financially, the shift to digital was a game changer. Unlike the TV days where income hinged on network deals, social media offered freedom. Sponsorships from automotive brands, ad revenue from YouTube, and merchandise. Hats, shirts, and decals emblazoned with the Hiltz Auto Co. logo poured in. A 2025 Word Street Journal report estimated their annual revenue at up to $2 million. A figure that reflects not just profit, but control. No longer at the mercy of producers, Chad and Jolene could choose their projects, their pace, their story. It was a lesson in resilience. When one door closes, build your own. But the road wasn't always smooth. The pandemic's ripple effects lingered. Supply shortages, rising costs, and the emotional toll of isolation tested their resolve. In a 2023 interview with Cars, Chad admitted, "There were days I didn't know if we'd make it." Yet, those challenges only sharpened their focus. They leaned on their community, hosting live Q&As and sharing raw, unpolished moments from the shop. Fans responded with overwhelming support, flooding comment sections with encouragement. One viewer wrote, "You showed me I don't need a big budget to chase my dreams." It was a reminder. Their impact went beyond cars. It was about inspiring others to create. The legacy of Bad Chad Customs isn't just in the vehicles or the views. It's in the lives touched. From the 1939 Studebaker Commander that rolled into a prom, to the 1985 Ford LTD bubble-top gasser that stunned crowds at a 2022 Toronto Motorama show, each build carried a piece of Chad's heart. His philosophy, rooted in resourcefulness, turned junk into art, proving that creativity could triumph over any obstacle. And with Jolene by his side, they built more than cars. They built a community that refused to fade. Now let's look at Chad Hiltz's world beyond the garage. As of 2025, his net worth is estimated at $1.5 to $3 million, Famous People Today reports, built through Hiltz Auto Co.'s TV earnings and digital ventures. His lifestyle reflects his passion. His collection likely includes custom gems like a 1969 Chevrolet Camaro, restored with his signature flair, or a 1955 Chevrolet Bel Air, blending vintage charm with modern power. While specific real estate details are scarce, he likely owns a modest yet functional home in Canning, possibly with a workshop for late-night builds. High-end watches like a rugged Luminox might grace his wrist, suited for a hands-on craftsman. His business ventures extend to merchandise and speaking gigs at events like Motorama, with sponsorships from brands like Eastwood Tools boosting income. Chad's financial lesson? Diversify your streams. His pivot to YouTube and merchandise shows how adaptability turns passion into profit. With comprehensive insurance likely covering his shop and health, he's secured his legacy while staying true to his roots. Looking back, Chad's journey from a kid tinkering with scraps to a global car artist is a study in transformation. Once a local legend, he's now a digital icon, his influence undimmed by the TV show's end. Jolene, too, has grown from shop manager to a beloved figure, her strength anchoring their success. Their story isn't just about cars, it's about defying the odds, about turning setbacks into comebacks. As the sun sets over Highway 358, the shop still hums with life. Chad, Jolene, and Colton are there, welding, dreaming, creating. The cameras may have stopped, but the world is still watching, waiting for the next masterpiece. Bad Chad Customs didn't just end, it evolved, proving that true passion never rusts. So, what's the next build that will steal your heart? Chad and Jolene's journey with Bad Chad Customs shows passion can outlast any setback. Loved their story? Like, comment, and subscribe for more epic tales. Next up, another creator's bold comeback. As Chad proves, you don't need much, just a dream and some grit.